A bit more bizarre business story. We're going to talk about the headlines about the young man who moved into a $2.5 million mansion near Miami without paying a dime. We first told you about this story Friday morning, but we're now learning that this has become a national trend, and some of the people doing it are even connected to an anti-government group the FBI classifies as domestic terrorists. Boca Raton, one of the poshest zip codes in Florida, is abuzz this morning over what is happening inside this $2.5 million, 7,500 square foot waterside mansion. The bank foreclosed a couple of years ago, but now a 23-year-old named Andre Barbosa has simply moved in.
Nobody's happy. We all spent a lot of money to live on this street.
Barbosa is using an obscure legal concept on the books in every state called adverse possession, which says if you live in an empty home for a certain amount of time, it's yours. Adverse possession is being attempted all over America. Susan Weidman took over a series of homes in the Atlanta area.
I filed adverse possession back in February as Susan Weidman at the DeKalb courthouse. Okay. So I'm not just, transient squatter here.
This $3.3 million house near Raleigh, complete with an elevator, got caught up in this whole mess when Sean Pendergraft claimed he owned the house.
It's not a scam. Everything we're doing is lawful.
There have always been squatters, but the housing crisis has put the phenomenon on steroids. Some of the people using adverse possession are connected to a sometimes violent anti-government movement known as sovereign citizens, who believe U.S. laws do not apply to them.
A police officer walks up to someone who is claiming a house now belongs to him without any basis at all, is handed a big sheaf of documents which are incomprehensible, and I think very often the officers ultimately feel that they're forced to go back to headquarters and try and figure out what's going on before they can actually toss someone in the slammer.
I met a young sovereign named Robert Peterson who moved into this foreclosed home in Idaho.
They're the enemy. They're the enemy of anybody who wants to live free.
One expert on sovereigns found evidence to suggest that Andre Barbosa, in that mansion in Boca Raton, is connected to a sovereign group called Divine Province, based on the language Barbosa used to justify moving into the mansion and the fact that his name is on the group's website. Before you get any ideas about trying to use adverse possession, consider that the sheriffs forced Robert Peterson out of this house, and remember Susan Weidman, arrested for racketeering. And Sean Pendergraft, also arrested for obtaining property by false pretense.
All the legal arguments he may make or the documents he may file will all end up leading to the same conclusion, and that is that he gets kicked out because he has no legal right to be there.
As for Andre Barbosa, he may be running out of time in that mansion in Boca. Bank of America has now filed a claim in court claiming it is the rightful owner of the home.
It's so crazy that they're arguing that the law's on their side.
They are, and they're kind of one-third right.
Fascinating story. All right.